Desks explode into chaos. She trips, he lunges, hands snap together. Heartbeats loud, brains louder. Did fate just speedrun a meet cute, or is anime physics matchmaking again? Sunset slides across the windows, painting the campus gold. If this world were a fairy tale, someone would shine. But who actually gets that crown? Heart thumping, Koutarou raises his hand and whispers, "Shimotsuki." His smile tries to look cool, but his sweat says nope. Doubt slips in. He wonders who the story favors. His foot misses the step and he jolts like a spooked cat. He thinks, that lead roll is not me. I am Nakayama Koutarou. The curtain sweeps back and a silver-haired girl steps into the light, calm and bright. Time stretches. His eyes go wide. He believed it until today. From this moment, everything tilts. The air feels new, like the start of a quest. He thinks, do not mess this up. The universe answers with sparkles and silence. Classic anime logic. Rewind a few days, the classroom hums under the bright May sun. One sideways glance flips a switch, starting a chain of choices he cannot see yet. Azusa pops up like a firework, chirping to Aryoma, her Onii-chan, about a very important mission, a culture trip called swimsuit shopping after school. Derma laughs, says it is only May, a bit early, but the room already orbits him. If life is a fairy tale, he is the protagonist, Ryuzaki Aryoma. Azusa wants him to see her in a swimsuit right now. Yuzuki admits last year's does not fit. Off to the side, Aryoma says, let's go today. Pick anything, my treat. They swarm his desk with giggles and questions. Someone whispers that Yuzuki is still growing, and her hands say, please do not make it a headline. Watching nearby, Koutarou exhales, long and thin, equal parts envy and resignation. Ryuzaki's day plays like a rom-com. Doors open for him, and meet-cutes line up like buses. Classic protagonist aura. Meanwhile, Koudarou's day does not. He stands there, tie neat, mood anything but. Before high school, he never pictured this. He thought he had a lane, friends, maybe even a chance. But once those three met Ryuzaki on the first day, they drifted toward the light. He stayed in the shadow, pretending it did not sting. Azusa, the sort of little sister, idolizes Reima, and it calls him Onii-chan. Koutarou once believed he was a pretty good big brother, even though they are not related. Yuzuki, the childhood friend, fell for Ryuzaki at first sight and started dodging Koutarou. She used to shrink from attention. Now she wields it like a weapon. Kirari clutched books like a shield in middle school. Now she sets them down and vows to become the kind of person he likes, even if she sheds her old self. He bites back the urge to lecture her, thinking, I never want to watch a friend bend herself just to please Ryuzaki. Maybe? That word keeps circling his head. It could have been him at that desk, with laughter in arm's reach. He knows it is probably arrogance. Still, the thought refuses to leave. Every fork in those old conversations, every tiny yes or no could have bent the road. One path screams protagonist, the other mutters mob. Choice matters. He snorts and shakes it off. Nah, that sounds delusional. He is not Ryuzaki. He will not play the lead. He crowns himself something else entirely, a background mob character, and laughs at the irony. Slide into homeroom and watch Ryuzaki toss a casual invite to Shiho like it cost him nothing. The whole corner warms up around him. He laughs, she listens, and I can already feel the sparkle. Ryuzaki lives a flashy school romantic comedy with multiple heroines, and yes, we are just supporting cast, a perfect harem comedy unfolding right under my nose. However, the roster does not stop at the obvious trio. By the window, a long-haired girl naps on her desk, hair like a curtain. She says nothing, but her silence pulls focus. I clock it and think, great, bonus stage. Her lashes lift, slow and careful. That girl is always next to Ryuzaki, not loud, just present. Someone mutters what, but the room keeps breathing. I stare and wonder why she sticks so close. Is it comfort, history, or just habit? Ryuzaki waves again, talking about swimsuit shopping with everyone. Peak fan service energy for a weekday. He asks if she wants to come. This is Shiho Shimotsuki, his childhood friend. She tucks hair behind her ear, face calm as a blank screen. I wait for a hint, any hint. At first glance, she seems cold or maybe tired, but my gut says this is just how she is. She talks little, her voice barely rises, her face almost never changes. People read mystery, not malice. Despite everything, nobody dislikes Shimotsuki. She moves quiet, she never offends, and the class adapts. When the light hits her, yeah, she looks like she walked out of a picture book. Her hair shines, her bow is crisp, her eyes stay steady. Ryuzaki, of course, has special feelings for her. She fits the role every romantic comedy worships, the main heroine. As for me, I park in the cheap seats and admit she feels way out of my league. Like she is from a different dimension, a different story. She glances over. It is subtle, barely a turn. My heart stutters, and I look up with a dumb little question. Did she just look at me? Calm down, mob brain, I tell myself. It is probably my imagination. No need to unlock main character delusions today. She sits by the window, ribbon neat, gaze drifting somewhere I cannot follow. So I drop my eyes and pretend the desk is fascinating. Story of my life. Clouds slide over a quiet house, and inside, Koutarou's room hums with lazy air. He sprawls, eyes on nothing, soaking in the silence. The rumor mill spins in his head. The girls went shopping with Ryuzaki. Of course they did, while he plays ceiling philosopher. They are probably laughing, trying on swimsuits. Pure fan service in broad daylight. Shimotsuki stays a blur to him. He has never really talked to her. He tries to picture her checking a mirror, but the image will not load, and that bugs him more than he wants to admit. A prickle of sweat snaps him back. Enough daydreams. Cringing at himself, he pivots. Homework time. He digs through his bag, pages rustling, muttering that he might as well get some homework done. Big brain move, right?
His fingers stop. Wait, where is it?
His jaw tightens. What is wrong with him? He knows the answer. He was not paying attention. So he heads out. The school waits under a clear sky. A ball thumps across the court. He picks up the pace, locked on recovery. 1 hour later, he reaches a window and exhales, long and shaky. He pauses at first year class 2. His hand slides the door open, slow, like it might bite. Silence hangs. Is Shimotsuki inside? He is about to step in, stomach tight, mind on that missing notebook, and one more mystery named Shimotsuki. He slides the door open, holds his breath, and spots her by the window. The curtain breathes like the room itself. Shimotsuki sits still, eyes soft, mind miles away. He came for a notebook, but this feels bigger. His chest pops with a tiny, "Oh, right, move, say something, be human." He forces out her name, voice thin. Shimotsuki? His hand shoots up like a broken signal. His brain goes blank, sweat doing the talking. He stalls, mouth fumbling over nothing. She lets out a tiny murmur, barely a note, and the silence swallows them both. He remembers she went shopping with Ryuzaki and the others, so why is she here, alone? The quiet stretches long enough to tie his tongue. He leans closer and whispers, "Are you sleeping?" A breath slips out, relief and panic mixed. Sunlight paints dust like stars while her hair drifts in the breeze. Her lashes rest, lips relaxed, each breath quiet and steady. He stares, thinking about her sleeping face, and his heartbeat forgets its job. He snaps back. "Dude, stop staring. He should leave." His feet start to go, but the wall clock says it is past 7. Is it really that late? A worry creeps in. Can she walk home alone right now? What if some creep shows up? In his head, she curls up and calls for help, and that image digs in. He bites his lip, weighing pride against her safety, and the scale tilts. He decides to act, simple and gentle, just wake her. The overthinking stops here. He leans closer and calls, "Hey." A sudden gust punches through the open window. The curtain whips, her hair flies, and he flinches hard. She drifts toward him, still asleep, and his brain screams, "Hazard, hazard, hazard." Anime logic strikes, why now? His hand lifts her arm and his brain trips over itself. Her hair slides past his fingers, soft and quiet. His knuckles clip her sleeve, a snap of static. He jerks back like the fabric burned him, sweat beads. In his head, he swears it was an accident, obviously. From one tiny brush, his heart sprints like it owes rent. He clutches his chest, tries to look normal, and prays she did not notice. She pauses, framed by the curtain like a halo, and breathes a soft eh. He freezes mid-retreat. Did she feel that, or is anime logic sparing him? Her eye sharpens, and a boy flashes in the reflection. She tries a name, Nakayama Koutarou. He jolts, hand halfway up, busted. The air tightens, polite, careful, loaded. Speed round. He flails, palms up, babbling that he was not pranking her while she slept. Words pile up, sweat keeps coming. She studies him, fingers at her cheek, measuring. He panics, blurts a sorry, and tries to bail. She springs up with a quick, wait. Chaos answers. A foot catches, desk scrape, and she pitches forward with a sharp cry. He spins and reaches, instincts finally doing their job. Are you okay? He asks, voice low and worried. He steadies her, his arm firm at her back. In that hush, a thought drifts in. If this world were a fairy tale, who would be the main character? She seizes his hands, fingers threading tight. Caught you. Sparkles pop like fireworks nobody ordered. He swallows hard, eyes locked, breath stalling again. Unfortunately, the chosen one is not me. It is Nakayama Koutarou. She hums and turns his hand, studying every line like a puzzle. So it is like that, she decides. Whatever that means, he thinks, staring at his own fingers like they belong to someone else. This tale starts here. For part 2, comment caught below. Shiho leans in and makes herself a promise. She will speak without that shaky, tangled nervousness. Her hands pressed tight. She means it. Koutarou blinks, a bead of sweat forming. He thinks, wait, what? He tries to process her words in that gutsy move, like his brain just hit a speed bump. Because of this, she admits the truth. Crowds lock her up, smiles feel stiff, words stick. With him, her shoulders drop, her breath evens, and a little hope crawls back. She thinks, I can breathe with him. But here's the twist. He does not make her nervous at all. The classroom clock ticks above them, almost daring time to keep moving. Meanwhile, he calls himself a background extra, the guy who only narrates someone else's life. He looks away because that feels safer. In his head, the star is Ryuzaki Aryoma, a walking rom-com magnet with all the fan service. Anime logic at its finest, right? Suddenly, Shiho glides to the window and calls out, polite and bright, asking Nakayama if they can talk. His heartbeat fumbles, but he nods. He thought that was his ceiling, a quiet life on the sidelines. That is what he kept telling himself. Because of this, her voice softens as she gathers her courage and asks if they could be friends. The wind teases her hair. His eyes widen. The world hushes. He never imagined a main story of his own until that day. To be continued.